All right, guys, new home buyers and what scares them away from buying a house. I got Sarah Lyons here. She's a top producing Century 21 Centurion agent, and you have sold a lot of houses. You dealt with a lot of new buyers, and I'm sure at least one or two of my inspections have killed your deals before.
No, never. No.
Never?
Not yours. Not
Okay.
yours. No.
But inspectors do kill deals.
Yes.
That's one thing I know scares them away.
Sometimes, yeah. When it comes to buying a home for the first time,
Mhm.
a lot of people hear a lot of horror stories from friends, family members, parents, coworkers. At least a couple times a year, I'll get that helicopter dad that has to be at everything with their young professional
The dad
child.
likes to inspect alongside my guys quite often.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we get that a
And
lot.
I don't see it as much because I train my buyers. So one of the big things that I enjoy doing is educating for my clients and advocating for my clients. So I do a buyer consultation with my buyers before we start house hunting. And a lot of that is setting expectations about the process. And a lot of it is educating about what a home inspector does and doesn't do. I have at least every month I will have a buyer come into one of my home open houses and they'll start messing with stuff. And they'll start checking the sinks and faucets and, messing with appliances. And I explained to them that unless they are a licensed home inspector, they need to not do that. There's liability with that if they end up running the dishwasher and flooding the house. The agent is the one that's on the hook for that. And explaining to them that that is the role of a home inspector. So whenever I'm going through the process with a first-time home buyer, we talk about that we'll look at a bunch of homes. We'll decide ultimately what the right fit is for them, what kind of pricing. All of that is a lot more in detail, not for this video, but that the first period of the contract is when they have their home inspection period. We call it a termination option period, but they have the unrestricted right to terminate the deal during that time.
Yeah.
We do all of our due diligence during that time. So we make sure to have a good home inspector that's actually educated about the process, not somebody who just got their license but doesn't have any background in actual
Construction
construction.
or home but yeah.
Yes, it's so important.
We do hire a lot of guys that were either in construction or are tech minded. One of our guys is a former engineer. He just hated his job.
Yeah,
And he was like,
you have a lot more flexibility.
he
Yeah,
makes less money, but he's so much happier
yeah, and that's
when he
awesome.
knows everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so fantastic. So I always advocate that my clients go with one of the inspectors they can use anybody, but that's licensed. But I have a list that I recommend to my first-time home buyers in particular of here are my favorite home inspectors that I know are going to do a good job explaining anything, because you guys do go off of a state list, and sometimes something will look scary in that state list, but really isn't a huge issue.
Right.
It's red flagged as a health concern or a hazard, but really it's an easy fix. And so having a good home inspector and actually having the buyer there at the inspection, at least for the last little bit, last 30 minutes, makes such a world of difference to dispel some of those main concerns. And then after that point, I get a copy of the home inspection as well, and we go over it together, and I let them know what my concerns are, and we come up with a list of recommended repairs.
We have gone to great lengths to train our guys how to explain, and we'll never apologize if we're talking about health and safety and it does frighten someone a little bit, but we will always do our best to say the house has no carbon monoxide detectors. Here's why carbon monoxide is so bad for you. However, they're like $50 to install two of them, one on the first floor, one on the second floor, and these are the locations you need. But we do say, hey, without them, here's the case. This is why it's now in the state bylaws. These are the potential problems, and people have died because of this.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does scare them, but we say, but to remedy this, you
It's
need
an easy fix.
you need CO detectors throughout the home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you might spend $100 decorating the house with carbon monoxide detectors.
Yeah. But also, too, the state wants to protect consumers. So
Yes.
when we do negotiate a repair with a seller, if it's something that has a license attached to it,
Plumber, electrician.
they require a licensed person to do the work and provide invoices for it. And if we're ever in doubt, say the dishwasher is not functioning and we want to get it fixed, and you're like, but I also don't really like that brand or that color. A lot of times we will ask for a credit in lieu of it, so you can also choose what you want after closing
Sure.
as well. So you have two options there. But if a client's ever unsure or worried, we have that full inspection window where we can even bring in separate people. Roofs are a huge one that we deal with a lot. And so having y'all look at the roof first, and then if you're indicating some hail damage or wind damage, then having a professional roofer come out and do that
It's very
evaluation.
expensive. What kills deals I know are the big expensive, the foundation, the roof,
Yes.
sewage system, like a
Yes.
drainage system. Oh my goodness.
That's another big advocacy thing. If the home is on the older end, if it was built before like 1980, we want to have those sewer lines cameraed. We want to have them tested because that can be a huge big ticket item that is an unforeseen expense that a buyer doesn't want to assume. If we find those types of concerns and issues, we can absolutely make it a seller issue that they need to then remedy.
Our the call center reps are told if it's 1990 and previous, push really hard to get the sewer camera done because every time we do it, we find someone is so glad to spend the extra $150.
Yes.
And then I give my inspectors liberty. I said, if, and we do it sparingly and we kind of keep it quiet. I like you, and these people won't listen. They're allowed to do a or a sewer camera inspection without charging if they feel as though
It's needed.
it's like they're looking at things, they're going, I just gotta know. And they put it down there and we say, listen, I can't give you the full report because you didn't pay for it, but there is something very wrong with the sewer. Roughly here, it's not working.
Yeah.
And then we'll show them a couple pictures of it and say it's literally collapsed.
Wow.
So
Yeah. Yeah, and for agent retention, that's something that we're invaluably,
Yeah.
thankful for, but also too for litigation reasons too, to protect the buyer and protect the consumer. Yeah.
if they didn't pay for it and the house doesn't seem like it has any problems, we're not going to do it. But on those sometimes, and especially when the inspectors are feeling a bit empathetic and it's obviously a brand new buyer and it might be the first house and they're walking through the house with the baby and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah. There are some specific communities in Fort Worth that are really known for
Cast iron deteriorating.
iron
Yep.
and big trees, and you just know it's got to break. And so I've seen it cost $30,000 for new plumbing, and you don't want that to be potentially on your buyer. So if it's found in the home inspection and we disclose it to a seller, now even if you don't move forward, they have a legal obligation that now they have knowledge that
Yeah.
they need to update their disclosures and they need to disclose it to future buyers. So it's reasonable if you're going to buy a house and you find a plumbing break like this, that you put it on the seller and that it become a seller expense to repair before closing.
Yes. Well, my plumbing company that we launched recently, we do a pay at close for sewer replacement.
Oh, that's awesome. So that way the seller doesn't have to come out of
For
pocket.
the listing agents, we offer that, and it's pay at close for sewer replacement because it can be $30,000.
Yeah. Roofs and plumbing can be two of the really big ones, and then foundation repair too.
Foundation, I oftentimes tell people you might spend $7,000 or $8,000 on a bad one. It's very rare that it exceeds $10,000 on the ones that we've looked at. Uh, yeah, it's an expense, but it doesn't compare to 25 or 30 grand for a roof.
Yeah.
And foundations in Texas suck. They just do.
Yeah, we've seen whole areas have a hotbed for foundation repair, but that's another reasons why I like new construction. Some of the design engineering they do now on newer construction with the post-tension slabs and the way that they grade lots is more deterrent towards having foundation repair if it's monitored properly. A lot less issues on newer construction.
Yeah.
But
Post-tension is a great
invention.
Great technology.
Yes. Yeah, I very rarely see buyers get cold feet during the inspection window because of the education side of things, preparing everybody on the front end, feeling confident about the pricing when we negotiate the contract, then having the home inspection and knowing what our rights are and what's reasonable to put on a seller.
Yeah.
And then if the seller agrees to those repairs, they have a legal obligation to have them fixed prior to closing. And so we really don't see a huge issue because it's all part of having a good team.
Everything can be fixed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Letting your client know that.
Yeah, everything can be fixed. But also, too, finding the right home to start with. Whenever, especially I have a first-time home buyer, we go speed dating when we start looking at houses. So we will go see a batch of homes at once, back to back to back, because it's much easier to identify what really is important to you or not. If you're seeing them and you're able to be like, nope, that one's not for me, this one's not for me, versus if you go see one home at a time, just like going on a regular date versus going on a speed date, you might try to fix it or make it work
Yeah.
because that's your only option. But if you're seeing multiple, it's much easier to eliminate and really nail down what's the most important. Because you can redo things, you can change structures of a home to make it fit your needs, but it doesn't mean you have to. It doesn't necessarily make sense.
Right.
I love design and I've gutted multiple homes in my career personally, as far as moving walls and redoing things. But just because you can
Yeah.
doesn't mean you should. Doesn't mean you need to. You might find a better fit out there. So
No, I agree with that completely. And I think a lot of home buyers do watch too many of those TV shows where they're just completely gutting and they walk in, I can do this, I can do that, and you're over there going, that's 150 grand.
yes. And also I've lived through renovations. I've had sheets tacked to the ceiling, tacked to the door frame because we have no doors for an extended
Right.
period of time, or having to go to a family member's house to shower because we don't have showers installed yet. And it's really not a fun experience to live through renovations. If you can find something that fits your need without having to do multiple big renovations, that's better.
I would completely agree.
That's better.
What else do you think would deter a new home buyer? I mean, the inspection is a big one and just kind of walking through. But what about, I mean, do school systems, does traffic, what else do people
Those are all things we should have figured out before we sign a contract with someone. So
see? I'm used to talking to less experienced realtors that
yeah, we
don't
have
go through all that.
already identified. And whenever my buyers initially, we start up that consultation, I send them a detailed questionnaire to fill out so I really can find out what are must-haves, what are must-nots, what are deal breakers. But I also provide resources as far as crime statistics websites that the city and the county put out,
Oh, wow.
school district information, because like if you have school-age children and that's important, which it should be important to you, keep in mind there's a rating for a school district, but it's far more important to be focusing on schools specific
Mhm.
because you'll have 15 elementary schools in one school district and they're not all held to the same
Right.
esteem. So I can't steer you towards or away from something, but I can give you resources, trusted resources, so you can ultimately help guide me. So it's not uncommon that I'll have people select, I only want to be in this specific elementary schools or these specific middle schools or high schools even, if that's something that's important to them.
No, I like that. Well, I mean, I talk to a lot of real estate agents that have a much harder time with new agents than you do, obviously. So, but
Or new buyers.
new, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. But you're much more prepared than them, so
Yeah, I
that makes sense.
deal.
Use Sarah Lyons.
Yes, my ideal client, after selling over 600 homes over the last 11 plus years, my ideal client is having like a, college educated newlywed couple, new careers or maybe slightly established in their careers, maybe have a child or one on the way, and they have listened to all their friends, their coworkers, their parents, their siblings. They have all this information and they're a bubble of what ifs and horror stories, and they know they need a trusted advocate. They know they want somebody on their side to guide them through the process, and taking all that information and getting them on the path of understanding and empowerment, and then going through that process of do a consultation, start looking at homes, do a big speed dating of like 10 homes back to back to back, really narrowing down that geographic area they're looking for. And then when the house comes on the market that's really perfect for them, we go see it super fast, get it under contract, and then it's 30 days later, I'm handing them keys, and they're moving into their new home. And setting them up with a team to make it all as cohesive and as smooth as possible. So the right home inspector, the right lender, the right title company, and even advocating for here's a good home like mover, here's a good house cleaner, here's a window person. So much of my job, because I'm all referral based, is helping clients years after their sale with random things they need help with, random questions. My job is to always be their resource for anything house related, anything real estate related, really.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you figured it out. So, guys, if you're a first-time home buyer specifically,
Yes.
uh, call Sarah Lyons. Put all her information down below. Thanks for watching, and Sarah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah. Should have mentioned that most first-time homebuyers